I'm going to bring up several people. You're actually going to stay up here with us. But Sassia, if you want to come up, this is Sassia, and I'm going to butcher your last name, so I'm sorry. But Sassia is very good when it comes to doing development grassroots within the rural community. So I wanted to bring her up to go ahead and be part of the Q&A. And then I have Kathy Hirko, who is on the other side of the room, who I asked her to come up because she started from an office background of all things, and then ended up coming out. She grew this unbelievably successful MGA with a team that has one of the most unique outreach programs when it comes to grassroots. And she's a wealth of knowledge, so I wanted to bring Kath up as well. And then Gaylan, if you want to pop up, and Joanna, and then we're going to all mush together so that way they can get us all in the shot. And then you guys are more than welcome to ask questions of the entire panel for the next half hour. Yep, about that? Okay, so bring it on. Who's first? Who has other questions? Feel free to raise your hand. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, so ask the question to Chris.
Simple. Do you do also printing when I would give you, for example, a design of something like that, and would you do a printing in a mailer for my own design?
Yes, we do that quite regularly. You can send us your own mailer. You can work with our art team. We'll play what we call artwork ping pong. So you say, this is what I kind of want, and our designers design it and send it to you. And you say, well, it's close, but, and so we'll just, until we get it exactly right and it's laid out so it's mailable with postage and a space for the address, you can send us your own mailer. We can help you design it. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of mail with the United Healthcare Toolkit mailers. Mm-hmm. People design their mailer, send it to us. We do the mailing.
Awesome. Thank you. I know a few of you had questions. Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, Becky?
So with the mailers, if you already have your own bulk postage, can we work with you on that as well?
You have your own bulk mailing permit, you're saying?
I do.
I think I would have to create the whole mailing with your permit and then ship it to you FedEx Freight. It would seem inefficient. We would just mail it for you using our own bulk permit, but we can discuss that so that I can understand what you're hoping to accomplish with that.
Amanda?
Yeah.
Can I expand on that for a second, please?
Sure.
So to answer your question about having a bulk mailing and also sending out T65s, you don't have to do one or the other. All right, we do in our office, and Amanda knows this is not news to some of you people in this room, we do both. We send out our own Turning 65 with a bulk mailer stamp on it, with our return address on it. It's a postcard. However, we also order leads from Leads Concept, mainly selfishly because I don't want anybody else to have them. To be very honest with you, that's what it is. And so I give those to my team to work, and that there's no reason why you can't do both. So I would use First Class with Chris and use your bulk mailing for your own mailers that you can send out.
We should have had her on the Q&A.
Yes. That's Ann Meyer the happy birthday girl, yes.
She has a rock star for a husband.
Yes, she does.
And he's in the business with me.
Yay.
He runs the agency with me. Very nice.
Awesome. Becky?
Yeah, I have a question for Gaylan. So when you're doing
you are.
your packaging, the queen of the bundle, what are your top three, would you say your top three policies that you look for bundling?
Top three bundles?
Yeah.
Okay, so for seniors, it's going to be, I see y'all getting notes, so I'll go a little slow. It would be Med Advantage, cancer, DVH, short-term recovery, Medicare supplement. Plan N is where we usually start because the more money you can save them, the better and the easier it is to bundle. And then I would put a cancer plan with that, dental, vision, and hearing, and short-term recovery here. For those of y'all that are wondering, I'm going to stop right there. All health products are exempt in scope of appointment. We fought for that. We got that approved. The only thing you can't sell in AEP in a bundle is annuity or final expense, okay? So check your scope of appointments. If they don't exempt health, and it doesn't matter if you're writing Humana, you can still write an Aetna Cancer, okay? They're cash indemnity, they can be written. On under age 65, it is typically an ACA plan. I still add on a Lux Hospital Indemnity. I like Manhattan just simply because they fought the government. They cared enough to do that for the agents. And then I add on dental, vision, and hearing, always cancer, because that's where hospital indemnity are short on. And then, of course, after that, it's a free-for-all. Life insurance, I mean, they need to build that package as young as they can. One last thing, on a cancer plan, when you write a senior, immediately ask for the referral, to Chris's point, because the younger they are, the cheaper it is. And there's one thing I know about kiddos. They love being smarter than their parents, and the cheaper they buy, their rate is like $120 cheaper than that 65-year-old per month. So they're saving $120 times 12 months for how many ever years, and they will never put more into it than they'll get out of it when they use it. That's a fact mathematically, okay? So there's the answer to your question. You're welcome.
Lorena? Hold on, let him run because you're soft-spoken.
I always say if you give me a mic, it's all good. I have a question for the lady, I forgot her name.
Kathy? Yeah.
Kathy, yes. What are some ideas for grassroots marketing, like outside of the box and what we always hear?
That's exactly what we do. Everything that's outside of the box. We're very community-oriented. I started going to health fairs and was amazed that there were no other insurance agents at health fairs. We do presentations, we call them Medicare 101s. We do billboards. We will actually we'll go to churches. Anything that you have a group. I was asked to do a Medicare 101 at a lady's house that they did a lot of nonprofit. And when I left, I thought, I don't know if I'll ever get anything from here. And it was one of the most productive meetings I have ever done. One lady kept my card for 3 years.
Wow.
So, and I will tell you that when I started doing this, and I love men, I really do, it was many a man who said to me, why would you do this? You're going to get shopped, you're going to be exposed, why would you make yourself so visible? My attitude was, why wouldn't I? If they're going to get shopped, this is what we know, and we should know what we're talking about. So if Medicare knows my team's out there, I now do a 2-minute educational segment on Channel 5 every Sunday, and I do a Medicare Plan Minute every Saturday on Channel 3. So Medicare knows my team's out there. So you just have to, I was thinking about what Gaylan said, and think of something that really impacted you. And I read a book called U Squared, and there was a phrase there that said, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because when you become uncomfortable, you think you're doing something wrong. So you go back and you do what's comfortable. Don't do that. Go where you're not comfortable, and you're growing, and your business will grow.
What you should have said to that man was, because you left that market untapped, I'm a success story, so thank you for that. I appreciate that gift.
Actually, I think my success is showing him that I'm thanking
Hey,
him.
action! I like that.
Every Saturday, and what was the other day?
Every Sunday.
I know,
Every Sunday.
y'all need to send me that clip, because I don't get Channel 3 and Channel 5.
They're
I
on
will.
YouTube's actually.
We're now on
Okay, I'll go
YouTube.
check it out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you did the, we did the thing at the Music Box
Which
Supper Club,
people
and we
have
did the
asked me
Moondog
to do again.
Coronation
We
Ball.
do the moon. Anything that there's a group of people where, just think about it. People who your sister, your neighbors, and people now are looking for people to do something because they have to get visibility again. You have to group just
Absolutely.
So, real quick story. Kathy, about God, I think it's been 7 years now. We're sitting there talking over a glass of wine, and she says, I'm talking with the radio stations, and do you know who Michael Stanley is? And I said, of course I do. And she's talking about going ahead and advertising on the radio station, and there's a younger ad exec, and there's an older ad exec, and the younger ad exec is going ahead and trying to have her do space with the old people jazz and the
Senior centers
and all the stereotypical stuff. And she says, no, that's not who I want to go after. I want to go after the radio channels 98.5. And at the time, Michael Stanley, who is, for those that are not in Ohio, he is a local quote-unquote rock star that is very prominent in the area, and he does a regular radio show. And she wanted to advertise in that. And I'm listening to her talk, and she's telling me this story, and she's like, saying how she explained to this kid, I want to go where the market is. Michael Stanley is in his 60s, and that's my prime market. So everybody that's his age is listening to him. Think outside the box. It isn't the old and dead jazz and the classical and everything else. Get outside of where you're thinking and look at it differently. And it was one of the most memorable conversations I have had in my career that has launched all sorts of avenues for me to get me thinking and get uncomfortable with what it is. So to that, Kathy, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I did. I said to him, do me a favor and go back and ask Michael Stanley how he learned about Medicare. And this kid looked at me like, you're nuts. And I said, I'm serious. Go back and ask him. And do me a favor, call me back in 2 weeks. So he called me back in 2 weeks, and I said, did you ask him? And he said, yeah. And I said, what did he say? He said, oh, I had my wife figure it out for me. I said, that's the person I want to go after. He was shocked. So
we have another trailblazer amongst our mix. That
Yes,
deserves a round of
yes.
applause. So does he sing like Sharp Dressed Man, ZZ Top, and all that? See, that's our people. Yeah.
yes.
People.
I'll send you a CD of his stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
I need
or
a
the-
clip,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
So just to add to that, what I did when I started my own business, I lived in the metro New York City area, so I'm sure that this exists here. But I could network all day long at different networking clubs that had, different precise people there to get leads. So, that was my goal. So I picked at the end, I networked for about 2 or 3 months, and then I picked 2 or 3 networking groups that I wanted to belong to. And the one that was actually the most profitable for me was, as far as leads go and working knowledge on all different industries, was one I had to pay for. So I didn't mind paying. There were 16 people in the room. Everybody was from a different occupation. He wouldn't have more than 2 in the room, so that we could all learn from each other what was going on in our industry. So that's another way
Was it
to
a
do it.
BMI?
No BMI, no. And I also did, there are a lot of women's groups that want speakers. Even some book clubs want just speakers to learn about different things. There's some women that get together that I know that are widows, and they just have an investment club, and they just want to hear different things.
Oh my gosh, I got a tattle on myself. So I got convinced to join, and I hope these people aren't watching, but they probably are, to join the women's club of Fort Worth. And I'm in there, and there's this bridge that goes over to the junior league. Well, I'm just sitting there with all these, women that I thought were older than me, because they were. But all my friends are over in junior league. But what I realized as you were speaking, I just ended my relationship with Leads USA, because the junior league's not going to give me as much business as the people I just walked out on. So there's the lesson for that today.
Joanna, what was your question?
So I don't know who's going to be best at answering this, but I run a Facebook group, Who'd Have Thought.
Who'd have thought? You have a couple of them.
I have another one. I forgot I created it. It's for retail agents, because I started at Walmart. I don't know if anybody knows, but I would go to work all day at Social Security and then go to Walmart after work. I'm sorry. So I started a Facebook group for retail agents because I got my start at Walmart. And so if anybody has any success stories, how would you work the CVS's and the Walgreens?
Oh, hold on a minute. Come here. Come on. That's
Miss
Mary Hicks,
Mary.
ladies and gentlemen. She schools that. Go ahead.
When I first started in the business, which was 12 years ago, my first year I came in in October, but the next year I got Giant Eagles, and I worked a Giant Eagle in Amherst in Ohio. And I talked to every single person that walked by me, even babies. I don't let nobody walk by without me saying hi, and if they put their face down because they like to hide from you, thinking you can't see them, I go, oh, I hope you have a wonderful day, and then they look up at you. So as I'm doing all this stuff, people then start stopping and talking to me. Well, in the Giant Eagle that I had, and this was my second year in the business, my second AEP, I wrote 150 apps out of there.
Wow.
One gentleman I met with, and I still have this development to this day. It's a 55 and older development, and nobody will allow another agent to come in there and work. And everybody that turns 65, they say, you got to call Mary. She'll take care of you. And I've been working retail ever since. And my team, which 2 of them are here and some are on Zoom, I got 10 Walmarts this year. And not only do we have the Walmarts, but we have other things we're going to be doing too. So my motto is, you sleep after December 7th. So I start October 1st, and then we start with the Walmarts on October 11th, and we work 20 plus hours there. And Kimberly's good about going from one Walmart to another one, but I wrote 150 brand new people again last year during COVID.
Wow.
Because not only there was the kids coming in and shopping for their parents. So it's very, very important when you're working the retail, not just to talk to the seniors, but talk to the people who are younger, because they have a grandma, they have a mother, a father, and they have grandparents that need our help. And they'll come up and ask me questions, and of course I have them sign a little scope, because I don't know if they're a shopper. And I say, yes, I can help them, because they'll ask about a prescription. Another thing you need to do is become the best friend of that pharmacist. Last year, because Walmart was doing this pilot program to see if they can have people sit down and they did telesales, well, it didn't work. So I got some of my Walmarts back. Guess what I did already? I went and talked to my pharmacist and I said, guess what? I'm back. And they're like, yes. And the whole pharmacy was, because not only do they know that I'll help them with the prescription drug covers that they're going to be getting for the year, if they're put on a prescription that is in a tier 3 or tier 4, that they're having a hard time with and I know they're going to hit the donut hole with, I am helping them get that drug through a pharmaceutical at low cost or no cost. Some of them, they have to spend $600 at the beginning of the year, and then after that, everything's mailed to them at no cost. That's why I have the big referral system, and that's why people tell them to come and see me.
And now you can see why I asked her to come up and talk. So thank you, Mary.
That was worth a lot of dough.
Yeah.
Mary, you need to trademark Memorable Mary.
I love that. So I have a question.
You're good with the names. I like it.
I have a question.
Hold on.
I have a couple add-ons there. First of all, don't think that you go to your pharmacist right at AEP. You need to work those during the year. Show up, bring them a bag of goodies, bring them bring them a bag of goodies, bring them some homemade cookies or something like that. Build the relationship during the year. Now, also to the rural areas, Often we don't have Giant Eagles, we don't have the big box stores there. We have small stores, Dollar General or Dollar Tree or whatever. It doesn't matter. Go there, talk to the manager, and see if you can set up just for a day or so during AEP. Build the relationship now. And use these stores. That is really, really, it's not working.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, here.
Try it.
Yeah, better. Okay. Build these relationships now. You look into your area for little stores too. They have a lot of local folks there normally coming in. Another thing is in the rural areas, because again, we don't have that situation where we have, you know, the big scenarios where you can go there with gyms and whatnot. So think about maybe ag centers. Think about, they love to have somebody come in, do free education. That is something definitely to think about. Think about cooking clubs or something. Book clubs is another thing. These are things you really need to think about when you live in a rural area. Your marketing there is going to be totally different than in a large city.
Ann?
You just actually answered my question. What are some ideas? Right here. Right
There
here.
she is.
Right here. Hey, girl. Yeah, what are some ideas for living in a rural area? I know we had a short, brief conversation, but some ag centers and some of the local stores.
Yes, I would think about if you have a Dollar General or something like that, see if you can talk to the manager there. And you don't have to set up every day or every other day. Just once a week maybe is enough. Ask them when is the busiest day for, you know, for your seniors there, and see if you can get in there. Another thing is for rural areas, and I can only speak for my area, make sure you have your paper apps ready. Because I promise you, when I drive into Daniel Boone, I don't even have satellite radio anymore then, which means, oh yeah. So, you know, it's all fine and dandy to have your nice laptop and iPad and whatnot with you. It's not going to work in those rural areas. There is no internet. So you need to really think about that. Make sure you have all your PDF files, you know, from your benefits of summary, your E&Os. Make sure this is downloaded on your computer so you can pull that up. If you do have an appointment in advance, ask the client over the phone, what are the meds? Because your quoting tool will not work if you don't have internet.
And you wanted to chime in?
So we're talking about rural areas. I mean,
Which is your backyard, literally.
literally, we have cows on one side, camels on the other with reindeer. I cannot make this up, like legit. So we're talking about rural areas. I, for one, and for those of you who don't know me, I've been doing this 18 years. I kind of stay in my own little world. Some of you know me just because I've been around forever. But I hate retail. I worked retail. I hate retail. It drives me bonkers. I'm just old and grumpy, okay? So, or retail may scare you. If you don't want to do retail, you don't have to do retail. Mary Hicks, I've known Mary her whole career, and I have loved watching her grow, and she is good at it. But to talk about your out-of-the-box ideas, okay, and you want to talk about rural, I don't know why I'm standing on this chair. So, stupid question, how many in here have
And
kids or grandkids?
Come up this way so that we can, like, everybody can see you as well as the camera. Come on. Because otherwise,
I changed my
no one
mind, I'm
can
not
hear
talking
who's
anymore.
I know. See, this is what
Your
happens
Highness.
when you actually come here.
That's really bright. Okay, so how many here have kids, grandkids, brothers, sisters, nephews that play sports? Who has kids that play sports? Or friends' kids that play sports? How many people have kids that are in school? Are you advertising in their yearbooks? Are you advertising on the school programs? Are you sponsoring the kids' Little League team? And then when you say sponsoring the Little League team, it's $100. Okay? How many grandparents go to Little League games?
A lot.
Go to softball games. Take them out to Dairy Queen at the end of the season. Congratulations, you spent $30, $40 on ice cream. And I mean, that's letting all the kids get banana splits too. Trust me, I did it this year. And it's worth it. You know, but you know what? You have to genuinely care about it too. When we advertise in our community, and Dee can tell you she lives 10 minutes from my house, we do the same thing. But we don't compete, if that makes any sense to you at all. She sees us all around town, and I guarantee you, when she walks into Giant Eagle and she sees my kids and I and my husband on our carts, like, yep, you do, you're not going, oh my gosh, I hate Ann. It's, oh, I got a new picture. Okay. But we genuinely love the community. I'm on the board with the chamber. I'm involved with nonprofits in my community. I'm involved with the school. We're on the the new cheerleading coach for the school this year said, hey, Ann, I'm new this year. Last year we couldn't do anything, but would you guys be willing to do stress balls again? Great. We ordered stress balls with our logo on them, and the cheerleaders are going to do the hard part, throwing out our name. I mean, how easy is that? I mean, get involved and actually care, though, because if you don't care, it's going to be noticeable, okay? So you have to genuinely care. If there isn't a health fair in your area, you know what we did? We started one. Medicare National Senior Health and Fitness Day is every May. So we rented the old building in our community, and we invited all these different skilled living facilities, orthopedic places. We had a vendor from every different health network that you can imagine, and they all came out. It was a free event for the community. We advertised it. It was wonderful. There are so many things that you can do that are free, if you will. Marketing with Facebook now is super cheap. His stuff is super cheap. I didn't say you were cheap. I just said your stuff. No.
I don't do anything cheap. It's affordable.
It's affordable. There you go.
I'm in marketing. Words matter. I've never bought a cheap watch, but I have bought a few affordable watches.
Yes.
I love it.
Very much so. Very affordable.
What Ann is doing also is, let's say she throws that fair and she sells nothing that day. She's establishing her credibility.
It's not about the sale.
People are going to be talking about it, and her name becomes known. That is so invaluable when you compare it to what you've paid.
Right.
And what you've got to remember is your credibility is what creates your expertise. That's what you all are. You're experts in what you do. So kudos to you for that. And it's
Thank you.
While it sounds simple, it wasn't an overnight process. She's sitting there thinking about how to get her name out there.
How many times did I call you crying?
So that is really good information. And, I posted something this morning that when you hear people talk about this, y'all need to put a price tag on this. This is like hundreds of thousands of dollars of mistakes, failures that you're getting to learn from. So like when you pay to come to a conference and you think, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. Well, it is. But the value of that dollar spent to get what you're getting from these folks, I've been doing this a long time, and my head is spinning. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go back there and write down all this stuff because I'm not going to remember it. So I'm going to make her give me a transcript of this. But at the end of the day, y'all need to be really taking it seriously if you're not, because this is going to help you get better. When I hear Mary say 100 to 150 new clients, do you know what that generates in revenue? Did you hear Amanda earlier? This is one of the things that's why I'm a good salesperson. I listen. I talk a lot, I know. I listen, and I write things down. She said to make $100,000 a year, you had to write how many 2 MA a week?
2 a week.
I gave you the answer, right? How many 2? So my point is, 2 a week makes 100,000. Okay? She said 150 new clients. Divide that by 52 weeks. What did she do in income? When you do math, you do insurance. That's what we are. We help people with their finances, but remember what your financial gain is. That's goal setting. And if you've missed goal setting and learning, that's what's going to cause you to miss your goal.
Gaylan, to add to your point on the easiest person to help is the person that calls you. All right? And you get all these great things from the carriers, which is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. And Amanda will tell you this too. And I am very much like she is. Here it is. Susan, I'm just going to use you as an example.
Which is why we're friends.
Yeah. Susan, I'm going to use you as an example. We have this ginormous fair comes up every year. It's Canfield Fair. There's 60,000 people a day that come to this fair. And I'm not making that number up. It's ridiculous. So they're, Devoted is going to be kind enough to sponsor some back scratchers and so forth with us. Well, guess what? I love Devoted, don't get me wrong. And I love that their name's on it, but I don't want them, the client, calling Devoted for the sale. I want them calling me. I want them calling Myers so I can give them to my team. So you know what we do? And my team helps me. Andrea will tell you it's all hands on deck. We get clear labels with our name and number on them, and we stick them on every single one. So anything that a carrier gives me not only has that carrier's information, that name on it, but it has my agency name on it, my name, my phone number, because I want them to call me locally.
Which you guys, I got one.
You got your permanent
one. It's in
one?
my boobs. And we're almost at time. So for those that, my new kids that do not know this, you can get customized giveaways. Humana does them. If you have not signed up for Humana Rewards, the more that you sell with them, the more that you attend webinars and everything, they put that marketing into a bank for you.
So does Devoted.
And so does Devoted. I was getting there, damn it.
I want more co-op.
Jesus, you pay
I want more
co-op. So with the Humana does it, United does it, Devoted does it. You can get them with your name and your number, so you don't have to do the sticky things. And to go to Gaylan's point, it's a long game.
It is.
When you go ahead, sales is a relationship business. If you want to go ahead and do transactions about, ooh, what did I sell today, and not think further than that first sale, go be a cashier at a damn checkout line. Seriously, if you want to play the long game, if you're trying to get into doctor's offices, case in point, or any of the COIs that are out there, if you walk in and they don't know you, it's a referral-based business. Would you refer somebody that you love and trust to somebody that you just met that said, hi, here's my business card. You don't know me, but I do Medicare. Send me your people. You look at them and go, get out of here. I got somebody for that, right? The I got a guy. You want to become the I got a guy when it comes to the resource and the reference. The only way that that happens is if you start and create that personal relationship. They have to know that you actually know what the hell you're talking about before they're going to trust you with their family or with their clients or with their livelihood when it comes to financial advisors and things like that. So you really want to go ahead and understand that when you walk into those places, it's not about the right this second. It's about tomorrow. It may be next week. It may be next month. It may be next AEP. But that's how that rolls. Am I at time, guys?
Well,
at 4?
if we are, we've got one more important thing
Sure.
to add to that. So there's a question y'all haven't asked, so I'm going to answer it. If that is not your game, like you don't feel comfortable picking up the phone or introducing, hire it done. That was my first job in sales. Well, it wasn't. It was Avon. It was Tupperware. It was all that. But I literally got on the phone for a bowling alley in Lubbock, Texas, and they were trying to increase 350 bowlers. And I came up with the rocket ship idea that I'm just going to call doctor offices because I know they have 2, 3, 4 staff members. And I offered them a free bowling party. They came in, they bowled, went down there and said, hey, did y'all enjoy this? Why don't y'all start a team for this league? It's the same concept. When you go into that doctor's office, you've got staff there, even though you're trying to get that doctor, that staff member is like, my mom's getting ready to turn 65. Or that staff member's got an in-law that's getting ready to turn 65. It's the long game, but if it's not your game, hire it done. It is not expensive. And let me tell you something. People are going to have to go back to work again. Unemployment forever. I know we have, open enrollment forever, but unemployment forever is actual dollars. It can't last forever. And when you get somebody that comes in and they're sitting at a desk and they've been working out in the hot heat, and all of a sudden now they just get to sit on the phone and say, hi, I want to set an appointment for my boss to come by and speak with you. Her name's Amanda, and she's really knowledgeable, and she just wants to spend 5 minutes.
Nothing.
5 minutes. When you say 5 minutes, I used to walk in and hand people my watch and said, at 5 minutes, tell me time's up, and I'll walk out. I never in all these years got asked to leave. They are in charge. 5 minutes. So there you go.
We hired a high school girl.
One other thing they need to do is you have to be consistent.
Yes.
This is not going to happen overnight, and if you think
No.
it's going to happen overnight, well, then you are in the wrong business.
Lots of ramen noodles.
And the other thing is, smile.
Yes.
Even if you're
Absolutely.
walking in thinking, I'm so tired of doing this, that's gonna be the day. I used to be in the office products industry, and I know the family that started Manco Duct Tape. And Jack Cale was the owner. He was at an office products conference, and everybody was leaving. And do you know what gave him the big break? The buyer from Walmart came up to him because he was the few people that were still there, and it changed their whole industry and their whole company's outlook because he stuck around. You have to be consistent, you have to smile, and if you're going into a small drugstore retailer, what do you offer? I used to sell to big box stores. You are providing a value add. If they say to you, why would I want you to be here? What are you going to do? If you're consistent, you are giving a customer a reason to come into their store because there's somebody there to give them free information about Medicare and their prescription drugs. So that's what you need to let people. What do you offer? You offer less confusion for the person, but you're giving their customer a reason to come into their store.
And she's also going to say, I know this nice place. You need to go down and visit them the next time. So she's bringing them in new customers.
Okay, we are at time, and I'm a stickler for that. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope that you found this informative. Please feel free to do the exit videos, and thank you all. And I hope that I see everything on social media. Say hi, and we'll start doing this next year. Thank
Amanda,
you.
on behalf of all of us here, we want to thank you for empowering each and every one of us to be our best and to do better, because without this event, for us to be strong for each other, this wouldn't happen. So thank you for doing this.
Bye.